As technology becomes more and more advanced, it seems as though our society is only operating faster and faster. It's everyone's goal to be the most productive person that they can be, to hit milestones in their success, to get as much done as humanly possible, and to make every single thing in our lives as convenient and fast as possible. But is that really the answer to being happier, successful, more rounded people? Is this society of productivity and convenience and fast pace actually bettering our lives, or is it causing us to become more disconnected from what actually matters in life? The truth is, there's no absolute truth to that question. Some people thrive when they're always moving and always on the go, always checking off things on their to-do list, always leveling up their success in life. Some people truly do thrive that way, and they're happy. But there's a growing community of people who are realizing that that's not actually what they want their lives to be about. Constantly working to live and constantly hustling and trying to level up themselves and level up everyone else, they just want to live simple lives because that is what makes them happy, is the simple joys of life. And this way of living that more and more people are beginning to practice is known as slow living. And it's pretty much the opposite of everything that you think you know. It's the opposite of doing things as fast as possible. It's the opposite of doing whatever is most convenient, such as curbside pickup or filling up our entire schedule to make sure that we get as much done as humanly possible. While there's definitely a need in each and every one of our lives to be productive and to make sure that we fulfill those goals that we have for ourselves, there's also a growing need to really return back to the simple pleasures of life, to return back to the way of nature, of slow processes, taking our time to do things, taking our time to just simply live, rather than always reaching a goal or an endpoint. And the people in this community no longer value work and success and money as much. Of course, those are important things to life, but what they place more importance on is fully enjoying every detail of each experience and being okay with living a simple life, being okay with what they have, not needing to have everything, be everything, or do everything, just being okay with what is and not feeling the need to constantly work to live. That's also a big theme within this community. I first discovered slow living about a year ago. And although I wouldn't consider myself someone who lives slowly a lot of the time, I have developed some of the principles into my life, and I feel that they're important to share. Because I know that we're all very different and we don't all desire to have such a simple life. But I also think that there's a lot that we can learn from this movement because it really brings us back to the basic principles of what really matters in life, which is family, love and connection, the present moment, gratitude, mindfulness, and seeing the beauty in life for what it is and what we have and where we currently are. The channels that really stuck out to me were Simple Joys and Malama Life, but there is an abundance of really amazing content on this platform about slow living. And I think what I appreciated about it more than anything was it actually just seemed like a tangible path to long-lasting happiness. And such a simple one at that too. And I think that's why it stuck with me so much. Because to be honest with you guys, the number one thing that I would say I struggle with is feeling like I don't have enough time. And I know that that's such a common experience. Almost everyone feels that way in this society. But it's like this constant anxiety that I have that there's not enough time, or that I'm not doing enough in the amount of time that I have. Or thinking about how much time has passed, how much time is left in my life, how many things I still want to do with the life that I have. And often when I do catch myself really deep in the hustle and bustle and the stress and the anxiety and the to-do lists and all of that stuff, I try to remember to live more slowly. It's a constant reminder that kind of sits in the back of my thoughts to slow down, to just slow down whenever you can. So with that being said, here are 5 or 6 things that we can learn from slow living. Number 1, it's okay to not be productive. I think everyone thinks nowadays that if you're not being productive, then what are you even doing? What's the point? And while being productive is a necessary and important skill of life and, reaching the goals that we have for ourselves, it's also okay when we're not productive. And there needs to be more awareness about that, because as a society, it's like we experience so much shame when we're not productive. But it's okay. Your worth is not defined by your accomplishments, and your accomplishments is not what life is about. We're just here on planet Earth to be, do, and experience life as the person that we incarnated into. And that's that. That is that, my friend. Number 2, things are much more enjoyable when we take our time doing them. Next time you go to wash the dishes, or go to take out the trash, or go to brush your teeth, or do laundry or clean, whatever the normal tasks that you usually do every day, I invite you to do them slowly and with the utmost presence. I invite you to be fully present for those activities. And you'll find that they are much more enjoyable because you're putting your full attention into them rather than being halfway in, halfway out, doing this but my mind is somewhere else. What people in the slow living community really admire and cherish is the process of each of those things. The process of cooking a meal from the beginning to the end and tasting that meal. The process of driving to the grocery store and walking through the aisles and looking at the various different options and colors and choosing the assortment and checking out and saying hello to the cashier and driving home and preparing and washing and putting away all of those groceries. It may sound ridiculous to some, but for some people, this is what makes life worth living, is the simple joys. I actually really enjoy grocery shopping when I'm not stressed about time or other responsibilities. Number 3, it's okay to live a simple life, and that may be most suitable for some people. You don't have to become a super successful entrepreneur or land the most important role at your company or any of those things that we feel that we have to do. We only go after those things because we want them for whatever reasons. But sometimes it's important to ask, why do I really want this? Why do I actually want this? Is it because this is what I actually want for my life, or I think that I'm supposed to? Number 4, we should always enjoy the process rather than only seeking the destination. We get so caught up in the end goal, in the destination, the where we want to be, that we forget to appreciate the process of getting there, the process of growing and evolving, the process of growing up and learning all of the lessons that we do, or the process of the meal that we're cooking, the process of whatever thing we're creating. The process of everything is equally as special and should be cherished. And number 5, true happiness comes from within. I know, it's said all of the time, right? You've heard that one before, but nothing teaches us that better than the slow living movement. Slow living is about not needing anything external to make us happy, because we already find joy in this moment. We find joy in being present for everything. We find joy in not rushing through life. We find happiness and fulfillment within ourselves and not placing our happiness, our worth, our success, or our fulfillment on our accomplishments or our possessions or anything else in the external, because all we need is this moment right here. And so it sure feels good to slow down this moment right here, not to make that moment speed by. So to conclude this video, this way of life may not be suitable for everyone, obviously, or it may suit certain people more at certain times in their lives, right? But regardless, we can all benefit from remembering to be more mindful in our lives and more accepting of ourselves in our processes. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that this resonated. I hope it added value. Leave a comment if you think that slow living might be the new way of life for you, or if this inspired you in any way to live more slowly. Feel free to share this video with anyone that you feel might benefit from it. And definitely, if this concept resonates, type in slow living on YouTube and just watch all of the different videos, because they are so comforting and aesthetically pleasing. I promise you, you are in for a beautiful ride. I will tell you that right now. It definitely changed my life for the better. Also, if you enjoy the things that I have to say, if you resonate with the messages that I share on this channel, then I would love to have you a part of my safe space community. So feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I would love to have you here. But other than that, I really hope that I see you in my next video.